is he doing?
I find it best not to look.
What's going on, everybody? I am here to do a review for the movie Mission Impossible Fallout. I believe this is the 6th installment to the Mission Impossible series, and based on how this movie was and how I know it's going to do in the box office this weekend, I think there's probably going to be a 7th one. I feel as long as Tom Cruise has enough energy left in his body, they're going to continue making it. But anyway, this movie basically was about, of course, Ethan Hunt, played by Tom Cruise, and his mission this time is he has to get these plutonium, I guess I want to say like canisters, like cannons or whatever, and he has to retrieve them because if they get into this particular weapon, it can cause a nuclear, I guess you could say a nuclear wipeout. And of course, just like with the other previous installments of the Mission Impossible series, all the missions that he's taking on are deemed impossible for anybody else to take on except him. Like, he's gonna go his hardest as long as he possibly can to make sure that the mission is fulfilled. This movie right here has so many damn plot twists. As a matter of fact, in one part of the movie, and I'm not gonna spoil it, it was a particular scene where it was like maybe 2 or 3 plot twists that happened all at once like this, and it happened so fast that I almost confused my damn self, and everyone was in the theater was like, oh shit, like the whole time, like in this one particular scene where this plot twist just, like, it was one plot twist after another after another. They brought everybody back. Ving Rhames, and I actually found out about this. Ving Rhames is the only character that has been in every single Mission Impossible film since the very first one that came out back in like the mid to late 90s. That shows you how long this series has been running. It's been running since the 90s, and each one has been successful after each one after the other. As a matter of fact, the last, I think, Mission Impossible movie that I saw in the theater was Ghost Protocol, the one that had Paula Patton in it back in 2015. And I actually paid IMAX to go see that, and it was well worth the money. I didn't see it in IMAX this time. But I think this is also the first Mission Impossible movie, if I'm not mistaken, that was in a 3D format. So that shows you how much they have gone further as far as creating another atmosphere for this film because of all the action. And speaking of the action, if you are a fan of action films, this is definitely the movie for you. Like, it's non-stop action in this film, like from beginning all the way to the end. The bathroom scene that you saw in the previews, that scene was like, the commercials did it no justice, but that last scene, those last few scenes were good. The choreographed fighting was very, very good. And for Tom Cruise to be a man that's in his 50s, he maneuvers like a guy who's still in his 20s. Like, I don't know how he does it. He did the majority of his stunts. As a matter of fact, he actually really did get injured doing one of his stunts. It was the part where he's jumping from one building to the other, and he catches it in his foot, like, kind of goes back like this, and he breaks his ankle. He gets up and he keeps moving. But I think they had to shut down production a little bit to let him heal up, but then he came right back in it like nothing happened. So I have to give kudos to Tom Cruise from that. Also, the movie had Angela Bassett in it. She played this character named Erica Sloan. She was from another agency who brought in her person, played by Henry Cavill. And let me tell you something right now. Henry Cavill in this role showed that he can be more than just the Man of Steel. He proved that he can be more than just being Superman. Because for a while now, everyone's seen him as just Superman this and Superman that. And of course, he's still going to have that label on him going forward because he made the character popular again. And I can't wait for them to come out with a Man of Steel too. But he played the villain in this movie, and you know, on the previews I kind of saw like how he was gonna be, like if he was gonna be the villain or not, but it was kind of hard to tell. But I didn't realize how hardcore he was gonna be, because he started off as a good guy, but then he was the one that's part of the plot twist. Like, he completely became a traitor. Like, his role will make you hate the hell out of him. Like, by the end of the movie, everybody in the theater was just ready for his ass to die. Like, we all were just like, hurry up and kill his ass. I don't care how you do it. It can be in the most softest way possible. Just make sure you hurry up and get his character the hell up out of here. Do not try to carry him over to the next film. Just get him on up out of here. That's how much we hated his character, but that shows you right there how well acted he played this character. But overall, the movie was very, very good. I don't want to give too many spoilers because some of you may actually watch it, whether you go to, because I know how my subscribers are, whether you go to the movies and actually pay to go see it, or if you watch it on the bootleg. And I already can see it. I'm already seeing the comments right now, just based on the last couple of reviews that I have done, with the exception of The Equalizer. Some of y'all said y'all will actually go see it because it's Denzel. But I can see why this movie got a very high rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It was definitely worth the score. I think it got like a 97%. But there's no doubt in my mind it's going to be the #1 movie in the box office this weekend. So this is going to be another win for Tom Cruise for sure. And you know, I was really looking forward to this movie when the previews first came out, because I am a fan of the Mission Impossible series, because I love the action genre of film. And when they say action, I like movies that have a lot of action, and this movie definitely had a lot of action. I can tell their budget was big enough to contain all of it, because they shot in a lot of places. I don't even think they had any scenes that took place in the States, because the movie started off overseas and it ended overseas. So I think for the most part, this movie pretty much took place mostly in other places, you know, like Berlin, France, some other places, you know. So it may have been one scene where it was in the States, but I'm not entirely sure. But I can tell that the budget was big enough. I mean, because it's Tom Cruise, so they're gonna throw him as much money as he wants in order to get this movie done. And I'm almost certain how this movie ended, not so much as it being on a cliffhanger, because none of the Mission Impossible movies end up on a cliffhanger. They always do a different story. I'm sure it's going to definitely be a 7th installment, but that's really all up to Tom Cruise and how he feels about it. But something tells me if he wants to keep making that kind of money, he'll do it, because I don't think there's really a lot of stuff that he has going on. I could be wrong, but you know, he's pretty much synced into this Mission Impossible role, which is a good look for him. But anyway, that pretty much concludes my review. I'm trying to see if there's anything else about this film that really stood out to me. It was a lot. Like, a lot was going on. Like, it was parts in the movie where I had to like sit up in my chair, and you know, you sit in one of them reclining chairs, so you had to push yourself up just to make sure that you like catch every single thing. But like I said, everything about this movie was really good. The action was good, the acting was good, the fights were very well choreographed. I would have to give this movie a solid 9 out of 10. Seriously, like, if you really are a fan of this type of movies, go see it. That's all I can recommend. The movie was really good. It was really well done. A perfect summer movie. I don't think I could see it coming out at any other time of the year except the summer. It was a good summer movie. Now, this is what you call a summer film. These are what summer films are supposed to be made of. But that pretty much concludes my review of Mission Impossible Fallout. Y'all let me know what you think down in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you can, donate to the channel via PayPal or become a Patreon on Patreon, and I will talk to you in the next one. The links are down below.